This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. From now until 5 we are recording live, and also if you have a radio that you want to help get some help on being set up on the transmit side, we do that also. So from now until 5 we are recording live. If you've got a radio you want to check the audio on, give us a shout right now. We're going to check to see if Charlie K1GZL happens to be on the frequency. Charlie, are you out there? Charlie, are you out there? And nothing heard. So Charlie last Friday celebrated his 87th birthday and was not with us. He was celebrating elsewhere, but we did, I myself did sing happy birthday to Charlie K1GZL. So anyway, he's probably fasting now, trying to recuperate from all of the birthday cake and ice cream that I'm sure he did partake of anyway. So our best wishes, Charlie, and join us as soon as you can. We miss you. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG network, and from now until 5 we are listening, and give us a shout. And this afternoon we are running as normal, four SDR receivers. We are running Rochester, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Milford, Pennsylvania, and this afternoon we are running, instead of Alexandria, we are running, instead of Arlington, we're running Alexandria, and I've got to post that because normally we do run Arlington, but I've been having some problems with that particular repeater, with that SDR, and I'm not sure whether it's the PC that's copying the mail on that SDR or the actual SDR itself. So we thought we would try a new SDR this afternoon and see how our luck goes on that. Anyway, the whole idea is for us to be able to get a better copy on the lower 100-watt stations. Any more 300 or 400 mile trip on 100 watts gets you about 2 dB above somebody's noise level. So if we can get an SDR in there somewhere between us that has a better copy, we'll do that, so we'll have a better recording. Anyway, this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. We are listening. And nothing heard so far. Now, I guess it's going to be time for Adventures in Radioland. This segment will be part 2 of the problems with the SB220. Now, problem 1 happened to be with the filaments on one of the 3500Zs not making real good contact, and so we did take care of that. But lo and behold, after that situation was remedied, all of a sudden there was nothing. There was nothing going on with the SB220 when the on switch was applied. A problem, I thought. And I'm thinking, well, I did hear some kind of noise right when I hit the on switch, and I wasn't exactly sure what that noise was, only that I had never heard it before, and so one has to be rather observant when they're operating linear amplifiers for strange sounds, which might be a tip-off that all heck is about ready to break loose, and duck for shrapnel, or something has run amok. And indeed, something had run amok, and it was serious because there was no on, even when the on button was applied. So I did sweep up my lovely boat anchor at that point, and took it out to the car and headed for my Elmer, and praying all the time. And I got to my Elmer's, and he come out and looked at it. It was in the back seat on a piece of cardboard, and I grabbed it and took off across the yard, through the front door, up a flight of stairs, and across the kitchen to the kitchen table where we decided to perform our operation. And so immediately my Elmer starts accusing me of various and sundry things. Well, you know, like, why am I still running that SB220 on 110 when, you know, it causes twice the current in the on switch, and I'm sure it's the on switch that's now defunct because of you operating it on 110 volts. This is things you have to endure with Elmers, you know. They are right, usually. And you do have to kind of accept the responsibility and do have to feel badly about it. But so he starts running continuity checks on the switch. Now, I had always been taught that what you should do when you have a dead soldier piece of equipment is that you start an AC ring out. And that is that you start looking with your AC voltmeter on the incoming AC volts and around as it goes through the switch, through the fuses and all that stuff. But he was so sure that that was a burn-up on switch that he started continuity checks, and he didn't have, he had continuity on the on switch, both of those, and he had continuity on the fuse block, and he was dumbfounded. And I said, well, look, I had always been taught that you should do an AC ring out when you have a dead soldier. Now, an AC ring out is you start with an AC voltmeter right as the AC comes into the piece of equipment, and to verify that you have AC there, and then you start looking down the road through the switch, through the fuses and all that stuff, looking at the AC. Well, when he started to do an AC ring out, suddenly there was no AC. Not even on the AC line coming into the SB220. We thought, isn't that interesting? Could it be? Well, it started to look like the AC plug on the SB220. And again, I'm sure my Elmer was saying that if you'd only been running that on 220, you wouldn't be having a problem with your AC instrument that you plug in, you know, because it's having to pull twice the current. And so it turned out that indeed it was the AC plug. You know, that cable, AC input line to the SB220 is really heavy duty, and it's hard to manipulate inside a AC plug to do a good job. And so apparently, and I put that plug on myself. I know I did. So I cut about 2 inches off the line and proceeded to reattach the AC plug-in, and lo and behold, when I got home, it took off like a big bird. Everything was copacetic. So what turned out to be a rather minor incident at the time looked like a major development. I mean, I could just see the plate transformer, power transformer winding opening up. But then, I happened to think, hey, that SB220 has 2 transformers, and the possibility of both of those transformers opening up at the same time is rather astronomical as far as odds. So, it did start to point like something like it was like a bad AC connector. Anyway, so that's this week's Adventures in Radioland, which is part 2 of the problems with the SB220. Anyway, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. From now until 5, we're running live. If you've got a radio you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. This is KC9VKV.
KC9VKV from Whiskey America 3 Fox.
Charlie, birthday boy, how you doing, man?
Okay, we doubled. Hi, Jim, and go ahead. That is Jim in At KC9VKV, Jim, did you hear Jim Braco, WA3FET, is also aboard. Go ahead. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Charlie, I did not hear FET. Is he on the air? Jim, are you there?
KC9VKV, KC9VKV, WA3FET. I'm hearing you loud and clear, Jim. I hope hope we have propagation today. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, we do. I'm copying you loud and clear on my local antenna. You're doing about 15 over. Roger, roger.
Roger, you're also about the same. Yeah, you were probably listening on a SDR that's too close. And when you're too close on this band, it skips right over. But on your local antenna there, at the home QTH, I'm sure we should be coming in loud and clear because you're very loud and clear here. And also here my very good friend Charlie, K1GZL, who I've known since the 1960s there. So, oh boy, that's too many years to add up. Anyway, good afternoon to Charlie also up in northern New Hampshire. We're having a beautiful day today, absolutely Chamber of Commerce weather, about 80 degrees, and it's blue sky, low humidity, a few white puffy clouds, and we have a big arts festival in the Penn State College area this week, and tonight we're going to take some of the relatives you may hear in the background playing games now to what's called Astrofest. And they're going to look through the big telescopes here at Penn State on the roof of one of the buildings there. Anyway, KC9VKV with some QRM from the nephew and niece in the background, WA3FET. I hope they're not coming through there.
Oh, no, Jim, no. They're about 30 over. You're 20 over, they're 30 over. But they have all the makings of a good amateur radio operator or operators, a loud voice. So welcome. And I know what happened was I called for Charlie and I heard him. And so I went to one of the SDRs and was picking him up. And on that SDR, if you were transmitting, I did not copy you at all. All I heard was Charlie. So let me go to Charlie now and see what's happening up there. K1GZL, this is KC9VKV.
Okay, real fine, Jim. KC9VKV, WA3FET, K1GZL, Clarksville, northern New Hampshire, on a sunny day. It's up around 73 or 4. And it's good to hear you on. You've got a nice signal. I'm hearing you direct S6 to S9, S6 to 9 direct. Jim, you're only 15 over on peak, 15 over, but you're very, very good, solid copy. Still don't quite have my quad working yet because I have one rope I cannot pull down. It's jammed. It's jammed, Jim, on that middle pole. The first pole I climbed. And I did, evidently there's a knot in the rope where two ropes come together, and it's caught. It's caught somewhere up there, and the ladder, the second highest ladder I've got, it's jammed up. Ladder I've got, it's jammed up, and Bob's going to try to get over here later, if he gets a chance, and find out what is wrong with that ladder. Either that, or I've got to get another ladder. But I've got good copy, even though the signal's down. We're just too far away. But I made a short recording of you there, Jim, and then also Jim down in Pennsylvania. Now here it is. I hope.
Instrument that you plug in, because it's having to pull twice the current. And so it turned out that, indeed, it was the AC plug. That cable, the AC input line to the SB220.
Okay, here comes Jerry, FET. I'm hearing you loud and clear, Jim. I hope hope we have propagation today. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, we do. I'm copying you loud and clear on my local antenna. You're doing about 15 over. Roger, roger.
Hey, Jim.
Okay, there we be. So, back to you. I'll turn it to you, Jim, in Pennsylvania. WA3FET with KC9VKV, K1GZL.
And Charlie, we're copying you about a S9 to 10 over, S9 to 10 over. And Jim, you're a solid 20 over, solid 20 over. And of course, I have the 30 over. Kids in the background yelling here from time to time, but that's okay. Anyway, great to hear both of you on today. It sounds like we're all having great weather. And I'm using the ICOM 7300 today into an Ameritron AL80A, running about 600 watts today. And I know Charlie's running the 7300 as well, so got two 7300s. And I did follow your story there. I guess it was part 2 of the SB220. And glad that things are getting resolved on that. But yeah, those things can be buggers sometimes. Once I have a story too, that once I was up at Charlie's, K1GZL up in Clarksville, New Hampshire, and he had an SB220, and it was doing what's called parasitic oscillation. The parasitic choke on the chokes on the plates of the 3500Zs were just about shot. And so this were the days when everybody was saying you got to use nichrome wire in place of the parasitic chokes that are given in there. And so anyway, I asked Charlie, do you have an old toaster someplace that we could cut out the nichrome wire or a heater or something like that? And he says, yes, I have one, but it's out buried in the ground. And so we went outside, and he I guess buries his garbage there, and he dug up the ground, and we found this old toaster, and I got in with some tools and cut out a wire and put that wire in the SB220, and it worked like a champ. No parasitic oscillations, putting out full power. So that was the toaster story up at K1GZL. KC9VKV, it's great to hear you, Jim. I've been on the road traveling for the last 5 weeks, and I'm going to be traveling the next 2 weeks. I'll be in Boston next week and Rome, New York the following week. So I just have not been able to get on, but Charlie's been keeping me informed. Anyway, back to you, and then we'll probably sign off and let you work some other fellas, and maybe Charlie and I could QSY down the band and have a little QSO ourselves. KC9VKV, 20 dB over, beautiful, beautiful signal. WA3FET with the nephew and niece yelling in the background.
Roger, Jim. Before you go, I'm just curious, will you have radio contact in your travels?
I might have some using our remote station from the hotel. So maybe some of the evenings we are building a station on top of a mountain here with some other ham friends, N3 Echo Bravo, K0LO, and myself and some others. And we do have a Flex Radio 6600 and an Elecraft KPA 1500 on the mountain. And I've been able to use that from hotel rooms in the past. If the internet connection is good enough, we can get on. So we won't be mobile these trips, but hopefully from the hotel we might be able to get on remote. And remote is a truly amazing thing these days, Jim.
Oh, Roger, yes, and so transparent that you can't really tell that the station is being remoted. Well, let me say threes to you, Jim, and lots of luck on your travels, and no problems there, and hopefully your connection at the hotel or motel or whatever will facilitate a remote operation from your Hilltop Communications Center. So we'll say threes for now, and back to Charlie, K1GZL. You got a copy?
All right.
Charlie, you still there?
Copy. K1GZL. Okay, Jim, wonderful to hear you on. Jim, let me call you. I've got to make a phone call here before 4 o'clock. Let me call you at 4 o'clock in 10 minutes, and I'll be down the band somewhere around 7155 to 7165 or in that area. Is that okay, Jim? Go ahead.
Be fine. I'll be looking for you. We thought you might have had some problem there at the beginning. You just came back and then went off, but you're sounding good now. And we'll say 73 to Jim out there, and hope you have a good show today on the radio. 73, and back to you, Charlie, in New Hampshire.
Okay, beautiful here on 7188.00. Okay, Jim, the very best to you. Cheers, as my friends down in the South Pacific would say. And we'll try to catch you next week. Hopefully I'll have this quad up. Hopefully. I'm very close. Very close. Just a matter of one mistake I've got to correct. K1GZL, we are clear. Go ahead, Jim, and Jim, I'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Charlie, just a couple of questions. How did your birthday party go? And were you climbing yourself on your antenna tower?
Oh, yeah. I was. Yeah, I did it. They told me the fellow came up, Brant, he came up and looked it over and he says, no one's going to climb that. I don't have the equipment to climb it. You're not going to get anybody is nuts that tries to climb that. You have too many protuberances, spikes up there, and that's that front pole. So he backed out of it. So what did I do? I climbed the pole. I spent 3 hours up there, and I'm only 87 years old, Jim. Ye God. I could not have done it the last 3 years. Because I would freeze up even getting on a stepladder, but that's almost all gone now. I feel so much better on that. I can climb. But I did it myself. I had a hell of a time, pardon my English, with that thing, but I had spikes I could barely reach. It's a long story. However, the middle of the front of the pole and pulling the antenna up, all my connections, the rope jammed, and I could not pull it. So I have to go up at least somewhat on that middle pole, and the darn ladder conquers out it on me. So I have a time, and when that's I get up that pole, I won't have to maybe not go up too far, but somewhere there is a knot separating two ropes caught on some nail, spike, or something, and until I can get that free, I can't pull the antenna up, but I'm very close, Jim. K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, now listen. You be careful, absolutely careful, and I'll be praying for you, birthday boy, 87. So, Charlie, let me say threes up that way, sir, and thanks for indulging our talk and joining us this afternoon on the QSO-VLOG network. Roger.
Roger. By the way, which SDR are you picking me up on? How strong am I on the SDR? Go ahead.
Right now it's Milford, but it has run the gamut from Rochester and Milford, between those two. Roger?
Okay, are we very, very strong on those, on the cloud warmer here?
You are like a 12 over noise level on Milford, Roger.
Okay, Roger on the Milford there. Yeah, you're S6 to 9 on direct, but that's a long haul for this time of day. Okay, Jim, 73, and we're going to do our best, but I think by this time next week we should have it up. Birthday party went excellent. Concert last night was superb. Jim, if you're listening, I'll be on in about 7 minutes. K1 GZL clear. 73, Jim. Thank you.
Roger, Charlie 3 is that way, sir, and thanks for joining us, and hopefully next week you'll be with us again. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. If you have a radio that you want to check out the audio, we are recording live till 5, and if you want to set up your radio, we do that also. We assist you in getting your radio to sounding choice. So this is KC9VKV. Here are a couple of stations back in there. There are a couple of stations, but they're not really coming up very well. They're kind of like if a signal exists, it would be maybe 1 dB over my local noise level. I have checked the other SDRs and nothing. So this is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network.
Afternoon QSO-VLOG network.
Well, again, nothing heard, some way down there, but nothing really recordable as such, except really close to noise, under noise. But you know, with the way we set up transmitters, you can actually copy the mail on one of our setups, even though it is beneath the noise level. Even though a station might be beneath the noise level, you can still copy the mail on that station if that station is set up correctly. And what do I mean by correctly? Well, the thing is, you want your radio to be running about a 3 dB dynamic range. Unprocessed radio, that is with no limiting and no compression, is running about maybe 10 dB signal. Well, the dynamic range 10 dB, and that interprets to about 30% average peak modulation. Well, what we do is kind of fatten that booger up to about a 3 dB dynamic range, and that interprets to about an 80 to 85% average peak modulation. So the difference between the two is about two times. The signal will sound about 2 times as loud as unprocessed. But now here's the important part. It is a transparent setup. That is, you don't hear anything working. You don't hear the compressor compressing, the limiter limiting, all that stuff. No, it's just absolutely, like a normal station, except it's twice as loud. And part of that has to do with equalization. EQ is a tremendously important thing as far as getting a top-end articulation on your audio. If you sound and I'll give you a demonstration here. If you don't have top-end articulation, your signal will probably sound like this. Not much in the top end, pretty mid-range, But if you have articulation, your audio is nice and crisp. That's the key word, crisp and clean. And so that's why you can hear somebody right down into your noise level, because they do have a fairly well articulated audio. This is a Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net.
QSO-VLOG net.
Kilo, Charlie Kilo, is that correct?
Roger, Whiskey 3, Kilo, Charlie Kilo.
All right, Whiskey Charlie 3, and give me the rest.
Whiskey 3, Kilo, Charlie Kilo.
Roger, Roger, what's the name there?
The name here is Dave. Delta Alpha Victor Echo.
Okay, Dave, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
We're in Central Pennsylvania, near State College.
All right, I was just looking through the SDRs. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your antenna, and I will check out the other SDRs to see if I can get a better signal on you, Roger.
It turns out to be like a horizontal L configuration with the AN pointing to the westward division, or westward direction. So I'm running 100 watts on a 10-wood TF-70, and I just wanted to check this out. I also have another transceiver that I wanted to switch in and see how well it works. Over.
Roger, Dave. Okay, I did not find a better SDR, so I'm on my local receiver, and I'm getting you about 3 dB over my noise level. What radio are you running, sir?
Right now I have a Kenwood 570 Delta.
Roger, Roger. If you might be interested, we have a setup procedure that will give you about a 3 dB dynamic range with an average peak modulation of somewhere around 80 to 85%. It starts with the compressor, and we suggest running the compressor at about a 3 out of 10. Just barely in there, but it will do the thing at 3 out of 10. Roger? Roger. Well, yeah, you can look at it that way, but it is a 3 out of 10. In other words, if the compressor has a 1 to 10 control, we suggest just putting it on a 3. Roger, Roger.
That goes up to 20 dB. That seems to be where it's
Roger, with a 3 out of 10 on the compressor, it's you'll never hear it work. You will never hear that compressor doing its thing, but it does its thing as part of the tune-up process. The next thing would be to consult your ALC and adjust your microphone level until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Adjust your mic gain control until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, I'm adjusting now. Right now it's a little high, so turning it down. I'm turning it down. That's about, well, I'm still getting peaks all the way up. Now it's about 2/3.
All right. I'm looking at your audio, and it's still a little loose. Maybe come up to a 4 on that compressor. What's your mic gain setting?
Right now the mic is set at a 13.
At how many? Gosh, come up on mic and tell me the numbers. What's your mic setting? 1.5. I'm copying that. What is the scale of that mic attenuation or that mic gain? Is it 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or what? Hang on there at 50 for just a minute, and hopefully we can get some better conditions, because I need a little bit more than you're giving me. About a 2 dB over my noise level. I really need a 3 or 4 to tell exactly what's happening. It will help me see what's happening. Roger, Roger. I'm just thinking, Dave, maybe conditions might improve in a little bit. Come back and let me hear you one more time and see what your level is. Dave, you are gone, buddy. You are gone. Now, let me just give you an idea of what 100 watts sounds like on my end. All right, right now we're doing just over a kilowatt, and I'm going to dump down to 100 watts. This is 100 watts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 100 watts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now back to a KW. So you can see what I'm dealing with here.
Yes, you sounded pretty good in either case.
Yeah, but didn't I sound a little bit better with the kilowatt? Yeah, we do have very ups and downs conditions this afternoon, it looks like, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Where are you located?
We're located just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the mighty Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger? So I'm really sorry, Dave, but right now you're just 2 dB over my noise level. The only thing I would suggest is that perhaps you might kick in a couple or 3 clicks of top-end EQ. When in doubt, try your EQ, because that will help you cut through and be able to present a signal of audio that one can more precisely apprehend as far as the words are concerned. The more articulation, the brightness, the more brightness you have in your audio. Roger?
Oh, okay, Roger. I can look into how to do that.
Do you know where your audio EQ, your tone control is? Roger, how old is that radio? Is that radio pretty old? Well, unfortunately, I do not have a copy on you now. Let me just put it to you this way. Take notes. Take notes. I would add 3 clicks, and I don't have a real good copy on you, but I would add 3 clicks of top-end EQ. If you find that radio does have an equalizer, you might consult with Google that model number and see what it's got. And if it does have EQ, I would crank in about 3 on the top end. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, okay, Roger. I can look into that.
All right, sir. Let me say 3s for now, and if my signal improves, it would seem like maybe your signal to me would improve, and you could give me another shot. Maybe we could pick up where we are going to leave off. So for now, let me say 3s, Dave, and give me your call sign one more time, slowly, phonetically, please. Whiskey 3, Kilo Charlie Kilo.
Roger that. 73, thank you.
Roger, Dave. And you were in PA, is that a Roger?
Roger.
All righty, sir. 3s that way, sir. And like I say, if we start sounding better to you, give us a shout, because hopefully, usually conditions are complementary from one side to the other, coming and going. Not all the time, but usually if the signal picks up from me to you, your signal will pick up from you to me. So, you know, whatever. Hopefully they will improve. 40 meters anymore is really not friendly to 100-watt stations. The problem is that 100-watt stations at 300 to 400 miles away coming in about 2 dB over noise, and that's not a good signal. So, you know, we keep hoping that conditions will improve on this band, but we'll just have to, you know, play it by ear, as they say. And I think that's where that expression came from. I think it was a 40-meter radio operator that said, "I'm going to play it by ear." And that's what you do every time you're on 40, because you never know. Anyway, this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG show, network, whatever. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio. We are recording now live till 5. And also, if you want to set up a radio, we do that. We assist you on that. This is KC9VKV listening.
Okay, thank you. I'll have to tell my wife that I need to buy a linear.
Roger. All right. You were 3 dB over my noise level that time. I hope you do have EQ on that radio, because I should have been able to hear you precisely at 3 dB at least over my noise level. So check it out in Google. You know, Google that model number and see if you do have EQ. I would be surprised if that radio is you know, fairly current, that it would have equalization. Most you know, modern radios do have that, along with compressor and you know, various other aspects. Most all radios have ALC. Now, I do know of some radios that don't. You know, the old Drake TR4Cs might have had it, but there was no way to actually consult it to see what was going on. Probably, I would think, most well-designed single sideband radios do have some form of limiting. Otherwise, you would, what is that old expression, how to influence enemies and make your neighbor mad by splattering 6 or 7 KC? That's what the ALC prevents. It takes care of your audio level excursions into the sidebands, hopefully, with any luck at all. This is KC9VKV. Well, there must be some kind of Shriners parade or something going on. It's got to be maybe the remnants of Charlie's birthday party. Those folks still partying. I'm not real sure, but you know, gosh, not sure where everybody is. It seems like something's going on. Is there a football game? I don't know. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio. We are recording now live till 5. Also, if you want to set up your transmitter to have a better audio sound, we do that also. This is KC9VKV.
K0AAJ.
AJ, come back with a call sign again, please, sir.
That would be Kilo 0 Alpha Alpha Juliet.
Roger, Roger. And what's the name there, sir?
Romeo Oscar November, Ron.
Roger, Ron. And whereabouts are you, sir?
I'm in the North Mississippi area, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee.
Roger, Roger. Well, gosh, welcome. We usually work the kind of northeast quadrant up around New York into the Carolinas. We don't have a lot of traffic usually from the south, but welcome aboard, Roger.
Well, appreciate it. Yeah, I just heard you guys in there talking a bit, and not much going on this afternoon. I thought I would just jump in here and say hello.
Roger, Roger. Well, we are recording, Ron, from now till 5. So, you know, if you could tell me a little bit about your antenna so we could get some audio down.
Well, what I'm running a Alpha Delta CC, and I've got it tuned for 80 meters and 40 meters. And it seems to be doing a pretty good job. My radio is a ICOM 7300,
and I'm kicking with a AL811H.
Roger. Now, Ron, we do have a tune-up procedure for that 7300 that will take your modulation from, if it's unprocessed, your average peak modulation is somewhere around 30%, and we do close that dynamic range down to about 3 dB, which brings your average peak modulation up to between 80 and 85%, and it's very, very transparent. And it starts with the compressor. And we do suggest running that compressor just barely at about a 3 out of 10. About a 3 out of 10 on that 7300 compressor, Roger.
Roger. Okay. Well, I say this radio is relatively new, and I know it does have some compression, but I don't utilize it as much as I probably should.
Roger. Well, let me give you some notes, and there will be something for you to consider. Right now your audio is looking fairly unprocessed, and that is, if I were to tack a VU meter onto a PA system, and you were speaking on the microphone of the PA system, my VU meter would be showing about a 10 dB dynamic range of your speaking on the PA system. Average peak modulation for that 10 dB would be around 30%. So what I would want to do is reduce that dynamic range to about 3 dB and bring that average peak modulation up to about 80 to 85%. The first thing is the compressor. A 3 out of 10 is not something that you will ever hear. You will never hear that 3 out of 10 on the air, but it does start that fattening process. So a 3 out of 10 on the compressor. Then go to your ALC meter, and with your mic gain in hand, bring your mic gain up to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Bring your mic gain up to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, and you'll probably be somewhere around 50% or so on your mic gain. It's hard to say because it depends on the microphone that you're using, but the most important thing is not the mic volume level, it is the ALC level, and you want to adjust that ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. Then we go up to the EQ, and in the 7300, that's tone control. Let's see, what is that? Transmit, sideband, tone control, bass and treble, and you want to adjust that treble about 3 dB over where it is now. Roger.
Oh, Roger. I appreciate that. As I say, as you were speaking, I went ahead and changed that compression to about 3, and got my mic gain set on about 55%. Roger?
Yes, sir. And I start to see a fattening there. Just observe your ALC and try to get that mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do with that. Say mid-scale to 2/3. Let's see here, just a moment while I talk. And mid-scale, let's see. How's that? Is that, well, let's see.
I did lose you there. I think you might have went the wrong way on your mic level. Try coming up to about 50 on the mic level, and let's try that again.
Sounded good here. Well, what I did is I knocked it off frequency a bit. That's why you lost me there. KZ-AJ.
Roger. Okay. Well, that explains it then. All right. So you now have about 50% to 2/3 on your ALC.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be.
All righty. And then what mic are you running?
I'm using the SM50.
Oh, Roger. Okay, I would suggest going to your EQ and putting about +3 treble EQ on that mic. Roger.
Well, I'll have to figure out where to do that at because I haven't got to that point of it. But I do have those notes written down, and I will give that a try. I do have the low cut button pushed though.
All right. Your tone control would be settings, transmit, sideband, tone control.
Okay, I'll have to look that up in the manual and say I need to set that about, what did you say, 3 dB down?
3 dB treble increase over where you are. And like I say, I think you've got settings, or is it system?
Beg pardon?
On your menu, go to settings.
Okay.
Transmit. Yeah, it should be, I think it's a system or settings, and then transmit. Tell me what your options are.
I'm still kind of looking at where we're supposed to be at on the settings. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be on the audio section or what.
Yes, sir. Audio section on the transmitter. Roger.
Yeah, and the thing I can do is go to the level and see what happens there.
You should have transmit, an option for transmit, and then sideband, and then tone control.
Well, I'm not seeing that, but as I say, I probably could get more familiar with it and then give it a whirl and see what happens at a later date.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I would crank in 3 more on the treble control, plus 3 on the treble control. Roger.
Okay, I'll give that a shot, and I do appreciate your help. And if I can hear you back in here again, we'll see how it sounds.
Roger. Yeah, your audio is now looks like about 3 dB, just exactly where it should be. And if you want to hear your audio and where we started and where we ended, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that is take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for a QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 7/12/19. My Group Aircheck 7/12/19. And we will post that within the next couple of days. Roger?
Okay, I appreciate that. I surely do. I didn't catch your name.
Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and again the call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. We are located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River. Roger?
Okay, Roger. Appreciate it, Jim. Okay, well, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll let you get to maybe someone else, and we'll listen for you again in the future, and I'll check that out on YouTube. You have a good rest of your day. KC9VKV, K0AAJ.
Roger, Roger, Ron 3's that way, sir. I think you'll like your recording, and you just need that 3 top EQ for articulation, and you'll be gangbusters. So 3's that way. And you were in Mississippi, is that Roger?
Yes, sir, right at the northern edge. You can hit Memphis with a rock from my house.
Roger, sir. All right, 3's that way. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance, check back next Friday, and we'll compare notes and see how everything's going, and if you've managed to find that EQ or not. And well, maybe we could help explore trying to find it again. I'm going to get a cheat sheet. I keep saying I'm going to have a cheat sheet for the 7300 and the 7610. We probably set up about 150 7300s and about 40 or 50 7610s, so we should know by now, you know, how that Yellow Brick Road goes. But I do have a, I have consulted Google, and I've got the service manual, so I should know all that stuff. But you know, there's so many hours in the day, and it's just hard to do all the things that you need to do. So anyway, 3's Ron, and we'll catch you next week if you have a chance. This is KC9VKV, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. If you have a radio, you want to check out the audio, we are recording now live till 5, and also if you need setup assistance for your transmitter, we do that. This is KC9VKV.
Whiskey 5, Delta Alpha Mike.
Whiskey 5, Delta, and give me the rest.
Whiskey 5, Delta Alpha Mike. The band kind of dropped that on me way down from where you were.
Whiskey 5, Delta, Adam, Mike, is that a Roger?
Yeah, Whiskey 5, Delta Alpha Mike.
Roger, Roger. What's the name, please?
Name here is Donald, Delta, Oscar November, Alpha Delta.
Roger, Donald. And tell me about your antenna for about 10 seconds, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better copy on one of the SDRs that we're monitoring. Roger?
Roger.
Well, I could not find a better SDR, so I am monitoring you on your my local receiver, and you're doing me about a 4 dB over my noise level. Roger.
Drone control, so I was in it just a minute ago. I just wanted to find out if I'm not calling it loud enough because it's a remote microphone. It's not connected to the radio. It's transmitting to a receiver which is connected to the radio. Over.
I think we doubled over part of that, and I think you were talking about the audio level of something.
Yeah, I want to see the audio level on mine. This is a remote microphone that is connected, not connected to the radio. It's transmitting to a receiver that is connected to the radio. Over.
All right. Now the problem, Donald, is that I only copy you about 2 dB over my noise level, so it's hard for me to make any observations much when I only have about 2 dB signal above my noise level. I can't really tell your average peak modulation because I can only see what your average peak modulation is down to my noise level, which is only 2 dB below your peak. So I can't really even tell what your your average peak modulation is. But conditions are shifting around, so in a moment you may have a better signal, and I could tell a little bit more about it. Roger?
Roger. Well, you came way up from where you were. You were about S3 here also, but you came up. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir. You're now about 6 dB above my noise level. So repeat your question.
Yeah, the question was, is the audio loud enough? Is it loud enough? It's a remote microphone that is transmitting to a receiver on the radio. Over.
Yes, sir. Your average peak modulation is about, your dynamic range is about 2 dB, so your average peak modulation is in excess of 85%. So yeah, it's gangbusters, Roger.
Okay, well I want to see you because the band is kind of crazy. I'm in Dallas, Texas, by the way. The name is Donald, and there's probably a few others waiting to make contact that can hear you a lot better than I can, and you better than me. 53 Jim, I appreciate it. KC9VKV, Dallas, Texas, Donald.
Roger, Donald. Now, I would suggest that you consult your ALC, go to your ALC meter, and with your trusty mic gain, and adjust your ALC to run mid-scale to 2/3. That will be the maximum capability for that radio, mid-scale to 2/3. Now, one other aspect is that we do recommend that you do run the compressor at about a 3 out of 10. Just a token amount of compression. Nobody will ever hear it, but it does, again, start that fattening process. So if you get a chance, I would engage that compressor at about a 3 out of 10, and then check my ALC for mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Roger. Well, my ALC is actually going a little over 2/3, and the compression is on 3, over.
Roger. Now, you're not into the red, I hope. I think I could hear just a little bit of distortion. So, it's good not to exceed the 2/3. You don't want to be in the red, Roger.
Roger. Well, I cut it down about from 50% to 60% on the back from 7300, and it's not going out as far as it was. It may have been bumping the red just a little bit, over.
Roger. Yeah, I would push it, mid-scale to 2/3, but I wouldn't go past that. Maybe 75% on a good day. Back me in the corner, 75%, Donald.
Roger. The band's going out on us again, so I cut it back just a little bit lower. Like I say, this is a remote microphone, so I wasn't sure whether somebody said my audio wasn't loud enough.
All right, Donald, I think we've faded to black here. I think Mother Nature has faded us to black. So let me say threes that way. Thanks for checking in. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We do our QSO-VLOG network from 3:30 till 5 Eastern Daylight Time. And we are recording all the time. So if you want to check out your audio, give us, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for my group Aircheck, 71219. My group Aircheck 71219 is today's recording, and we will be posting this within the next couple of days. Roger? Roger, Donald, 3's that way, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program, a network or whatever. We air check now till 5 live, and if you have a radio that you want to help get assistance tuning up the audio, we do that also. This is KC9VKV.
Whiskey 8, Bravo, Foxtrot, Oscar.
Whiskey 8, Bravo, Foxtrot.
Whiskey 8, Bravo, Foxtrot, Oscar. Although the name here is Will Whiskey India Lima.
Was that Will?
Affirmative, yes. Whiskey India Lima, over.
Roger, Will. And whereabouts are you located, sir?
Northern part of West Virginia, a place called Hedgesville, over.
Try that one more time, please.
West Virginia, over.
You're getting lightning strikes here or something. Try one more time. I'm copying you about 3 dB over my noise level. And what kind of signal do you have on me, sir?
The band is up and down right now. So sometimes you're sort of 5 over 30 and next year's down in the noise. I think it's just the way the weather's running. How's that for you, over?
All right, now you're about 6 dB over my noise level. I'm not sure what kind of power you're running. We're running just over a kilowatt. Now we're down to about 100 watts. This is 100 watts right here. And back to the KW. And what kind of power are you running, sir? And my noise that time. I'm assuming you're running about 100 watts. Is that a Roger? Signal's not really good right now. Conditions, 40 meters is sometimes. I'd put I get voted off the island if I really said what I thought about the conditions on 40 meters. Most of the time, I'm not sure why it is, but yeah, you know, I would think 40 could do a whole lot better. And I just think it's Mother Nature's not paying attention, Roger.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, well, I'll try again sometime. On the time, so I wish 73, and thanks very much. This is Whiskey 8, Bravo, Foxtrot, Oscar, and we'll be standing by.
Roger, well, and I could copy a little bit of that. At some points you were 5 and 6 dB over my noise for just moments, and I would suggest a little more top-end EQ on your microphone. This is a pet peeve of mine. You know, I look at UHF and VHF, and they're crisp audios, and I'm wondering, you know, gosh, I sure wish that HF was that way, and we do have equalization within our capabilities that helps add some, you know, articulation to our audio. And, you know, sometimes like in a marginal signal like we had just then, a little more top-end EQ really helps to be able to understand the words when they're down towards the noise level. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, James. I'm just looking through the menu now to have a look at the BX1200, so I'm in the EQ now, just having a fiddle.
Roger, well, do you have a 3-band or 2-band?
Just a 2-band over.
Roger, that's fine, because usually, you know, what I do, if it's a 3-band, I keep that mid-frequency flat. I keep the mid-frequency flat because if you boost the mid-frequency, then you have to boost so much harder on the top end and the bottom end to make a difference. So if you keep that mid-range flat, 1 kc, then you're just you know, working on your top and your bottom. And with a 2-band EQ, that's perfect because you know, that's the situation. So I would say, you know, if you added 3 dB top end EQ, 3 dB boost on your treble from where it is now, that would really help a great deal.
Yeah, Roger, James, sorry, I was pleased that I didn't catch the time right now. I apologize.
I caught one word, but it did sound good. Roger? So I'll tell you, I'll call it, you know, a draw for right now because of lack of better conditions. But if you would like, join us next Friday, and maybe we'll have some better conditions prevailing, and we can pick up where we left off. Roger, Roger.
Really appreciate your time. I'll have a look, and I'll write down those settings so that I can adjust them appropriately. Thank you very much for your time. This is 58 Bravo Foxtrot Oscar to 73, and once again, thank you very much.
Roger, Roger, Will, 3's that way, so you have a real good afternoon and a great weekend. And like I say, if you get a chance, join us next Friday. And in the between time, if you would like to see what's happening there on our recording, if you go to my group Aircheck, if you go to if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you'll be looking for a QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 7/12/19. Today's date. My Group Aircheck 7/12/19. Roger?
Roger, James. Next point to that, I've got the YouTube channel up now. I'll bookmark it and then I'll put it tomorrow and make sure that I can look back and actually listen to my audio. Gentlemen.
Roger, Roger. Well, yeah, we do have about 650 QSO-VLOGs to this point on our QSO-VLOG page on YouTube, and we're adding constantly. We do the hour-and-a-half full-length recording, and that's the first one we post up within a couple of days. And then as time permits, we usually do some breakouts from that and post them separately. And that's why the call signs are so critical, because those are being posted separately, and they really need to have the correct call sign. So threes for now, Will, and you have a good weekend, and we'll catch you later. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, the QSO-VLOG network for Friday afternoon from now until 5. We are recording, and if you need assistance in setting up your radio and transmit, we do that also. This is KC9VKV.
Kilo Echo 8, Kilo Juliet, West Virginia.
Kilo Echo 8, come back slowly with your call sign again.
Sign again.
Kilo Echo 8, Kilo Juliet, West Virginia.
Roger, Roger. And what's the name, sir, in West Virginia?
Virginia.
My name is Tom. We're in Randolph County, West Virginia.
Ah, roger that, Roger that. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a Kenwood TS440S, and I've got an N-feed antenna.
That's a TS440S?
40S.
That is correct, sir. That is correct.
Roger, Roger. Okay, and tell me just a little bit more about your antenna system there for about 10 or 15 seconds.
It comes from myantennas.com. It's an EFHW4010-1K.
Roger, Roger. Okay, I've looked at your audio, and you're running about 3 dB dynamic range, so your average percent of peak modulation is about 80 to 85%. The tonality of your audio is just beautiful, very intelligible. Roger.
Roger. That is correct, sir. Thank you for the comeback. If you'll give me your call sign slowly, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, sir. The call here is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. Repeat, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. The name is Jim Juliet India Mike, and we are located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger.
Roger.
Roger that. Is that Kilo KC9V, and I didn't get the Charlie Victor?
Let me repeat that. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. Roger.
Roger.
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor.
That's a Roger. That is a Roger. And like I say, you're doing real good from in West Virginia.
Well, sir, for this time of day, it fades in and out. I've got to listen real close. I'm new at this game, so I appreciate your comeback.
Oh, Roger that. Roger that. What's my signal to you from you? Alrighty, we're running just over a kilowatt. Let me drop down to the 100 watt side, and we're at 100 watts right now. 100 watts right now, and then back to the KW. Roger.
Roger.
That is it, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful day here in West Virginia. Where did you say you were located at?
We're just next door to Louisville, Kentucky. I can see downtown Louisville at about 3 miles away. Roger.
Roger.
ago.
Yeah, I took down a what?
Took down an asphalt plant.
Oh, roger that. Well, gosh, that, I imagine that's, is that where they would make the asphalt?
I lost you there, sir. Come back again.
Yes, sir. I was just asking if that's where they made the asphalt.
Yes, sir, it is. That plant made the asphalt for the Indianapolis 500 the last time it was paid.
Oh, roger. Now they just went right over all those bricks, didn't they?
All except the start and finish line, sir.
Roger. Well, listen, I appreciate the check-in there. And, Tom, you have a real good afternoon. And we'll, if you get a chance, you could go to our YouTube page and check the recording of this conversation, QSO. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 71219. My Group Aircheck 71219. Roger?
Roger that, sir. Thank you for the comeback. 73s to you. Have a great evening.
Roger, Tom. And like I say, we'll get this posted up on YouTube within the next couple of days. Probably be sooner than that, but we want to be sure that we, don't, that we are good for our word. So we usually say it'll be there within a couple of days. Anyway, 3s, and we'll catch you later. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG page. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We're recording now live till 5.
Kilo Charlie 3, Mike X-Ray Sierra.
Kilo Charlie 3, repeat the rest.
That's Kilo Charlie 3, Mike X-Ray Sierra.
Victor Echo 3.
All right, Kilo Charlie 3, Mike Echo Sierra, and what's the name there, please, sir?
And that was Mike X-Ray Sierra.
Mike X-Ray Sierra, and what's the name, please?
Yeah, the name here is Bob Bravo, Oscar Bravo, and I'm just about 35 miles northwest of Pittsburgh, PA, guys.
Roger, and would you happen to be on the 7300?
300. That's affirmative, 7300 I come.
And would you happen to be on the hand mic?
That's correct, you got it.
Boy, I'm clairvoyant. No, number one, the audio is superb. That hand mic is just beautiful, but you have to work that mic to the side. Pull that mic up to the side of your cheek and talk across it. Otherwise, you'll get plosives like you were doing, Roger.
Okay, does this sound much better? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That sounds a lot better. And, the ultimate answer to that is if you go down to your local music store and get yourself a foam windscreen and just slip right over that hand mic, that will be the best of all worlds. Roger?
Well, it makes a lot of sense, but in my business, I'm an airline pilot, so I'm used to talking right into the microphone. I guess I'm learning right now to tell me that about this mic, right?
Now you did fall back signal-wise just a little bit. Come back and tell me about your antenna, and let me see if I can find a better SDR to copy the mail. Roger?
Okay, Roger. N-bed halfway antenna, multi-band.
I'm on Milford, PA, which is doing the best job. But did you have something about the windscreen that you couldn't do? Or I really think that is the best answer there. That just solves all of the transients for that condenser hand mic. Roger?
Okay, yeah, you dropped down somebody as the QRM there. I missed partially what you said. Can you repeat that? Go ahead.
Yes, that foam windscreen from your local music store will just solve all of the plosives and transients that you might have with that hand mic. Other than that, with that windscreen, that microphone is just absolutely beautiful. Roger?
Roger.
Okay, I'll look into that, and I appreciate the advice. Go ahead.
Roger. Whoever's tuning up, please do not tune up on an active frequency. Go elsewhere, preferably 3 or 4 clicks one way or the other, or even further. Do not tune up on an active channel. It's not good practice. And so let's see here. What was it? Was Bob. We have a tune-up for the 7300. If you might be interested in maximizing the capabilities in a very transparent way. I think that's the interesting part about it. It starts with the compressor. I don't know, I hope that you're familiar with your radio, but the compressor, we just suggest running that at about a 3 out of 10, just a token amount of compression, a 3 out of 10, Roger?
Roger.
Okay, 3 out of 10 on the compression. I got that with the microphone. I am still learning on the radio. This is new to me, so and I'm new to the hobby, so I really take advantage of any advice I can get. So yeah, I'll look into that, and I know how to get to that menu, so we'll see how I'll see what setting it's at, and I will make the change. Go ahead.
Roger, we could stand by if you wanted to do that now. Usually we just do it on the fly, but if if you find that it might be difficult to get to those places, I would understand.
Yeah, I might have to have someone walk me through it again or look through the book. So yeah, I might stand by. Go ahead.
Okay, Bob, let me just give you the information. You can jot it down, and then as you find things, you can crank it in. We suggest a 3 out of 10 on the compressor, 3 out of 10 on the compressor, and then we go to the ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand, adjust the ALC meter to where it's reflecting mid-scale to 2/3 and transmit as you speak. Adjust your mic gain to where your ALC meter is reflecting mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, I got that. 3 on the compression, and then the AOC meter, do a few mic tests and do from mid to 3/4.
Exactly. Now, to absolutely make that microphone just perfect, I would suggest 2 clicks EQ, treble EQ, 2 clicks more than where you are on your treble tone control, I think they call it.
Okay, 2 clicks on the treble. I got that written down. Thanks a lot.
And then if you get a chance, join us next Friday, and let me hear what you're sounding like, Roger.
Roger.
All right, it sounds like a plan. I'll be around on next Friday, so I'll have to stop in, and you let me know how much better I sound. Go ahead.
Roger, will do. So 3s for now, Bob, and you have a real good rest of the afternoon and a great weekend, Roger.
All right, Jim, you too. You have a good day. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, Kilo Charlie 3, Mike X-Ray Sierra.
Roger. And your last signal was looked about 7 dB over my noise level, so that's a good signal for today on 40. 3's underway, sir. We'll catch you later. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. Oh, look at that time. We're quickly approaching becoming a pumpkin at 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, do it now. KC9VKV.
November Whiskey 8 Charlie.
November something Charlie?
November Whiskey 8 Charlie. Roger.
Victor Echo 3.
November. Yeah, one more time, the whole thing very slowly, phonetically, please, sir.
Please, sir.
Okay. November Whiskey number 8 Charlie.
November Whiskey 8 Charlie. Is that a Roger?
Roger.
Yes, sir. Are you having problems hearing me?
Only in my ears. And it's almost 5 o'clock, and we've been doing this for about an hour and a half. Roger.
Roger.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think we got this thing set pretty close, but just interested to see what your opinion is of the audio.
Sounds good. I would just have one question. Are you running your compressor at about a 3?
3?
Well, this is a Yaesu MTDX 3000. The compressor is set at 7.
Yeah, I would, you know, the whole idea is to have a very transparent audio modulation when you get to the end of it. Very, very fat, a 3 dB dynamic range, which is an average peak modulation of 80 to 85%, but very transparent. You can't hear anything working. And sometimes when you start heavy into the compressor, you can hear it sucking, you know, and we don't want that. So about a 3 gives you a very transparent compressor. Roger?
Roger.
Okay, well, I set it back to 3. I'm running a Yaesu MD1 dynamic mic, and ALC is running about 3/4. Every once in a while it'll peak a little bit more than that. I think the mic gain is set about 18, so hopefully that helped a little bit.
Roger. Now you might be a little thin on your audio. I seldom have this problem, but you might want to add just a couple of clicks on the bottom end. Like I say, I rarely ever suggest more EQ on the bottom end, but in your case, I think a couple of clicks on the bottom end would be a nice broad touch. Roger?
Roger.
Okay. Well, we won't hold you. That'll take a little searching in the menu to find that, and this thing's got a lot of menu in it. So anyway, we will do that. A little more bass. That's surprising. For the most part, I have a pretty deep voice anyway, and I usually have a little problem with too much bass. We can do that, and next time we hear you on, we'll check back with you. Thank you very much for the help, and we'll let you go on to somebody else here, and it's getting about time for you to hang it up for the day anyway, I guess. So, 7-3, Jim. By the way, the name on this is Bud Baker Uniform Delta, and I'm near Youngstown, Ohio. Roger.
Oh, Roger. What was the name again, please?
It's Bud Baker Uniform Delta.
Roger, Bud. And I was monitoring the Milford PA SDR, and I did move over to my local receiver. It's I have a lot better frequency response on my receiver than the SDRs. My receiver's down to below 100 cycles and on above 4K. So, and in listening to that, I don't find that much discrepancy in the bottom end. Maybe just a dB or so. Just maybe a dB or so, because you have the mids and the top end, and you were just a little bit low on the bottom side. So I have a spectrum analyzer that I use to look at audio, and it's also being in the video, so you can consult that spectrum analyzer when you know, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for our QSO-VLOG page, it's KC9VKV on YouTube, and that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for an Aircheck called My Group Aircheck 71219. My Group Aircheck 71219. Roger?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jim. Again, we'll get out of your hair here and let you carry on. Appreciate the help, and we will see if we can add a little bit. Now, I'm assuming you're telling me to add a little bass to this, right?
Yeah, 1 or 2 clicks from where you are. Just 1 or 2 clicks from the whatever EQ you have at the moment.
Okay, very good. We'll do that. We'll have to do a little searching, like I said, in the menu here. So we'll say 7-3 for now, and thank you very much for the help.
Roger, Roger. One more time on the location, please, sir.
Yeah, the location is the state of Ohio, near the city of Youngstown, Roger.
Near Youngstown, Ohio. Roger, Roger, sir. Well, 3's that way. Thanks for checking in. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll compare notes and see what's going on. Great signal. This is KC9VKV, and gosh, I have turned into a pumpkin. It is 5 o'clock, and we will say 3's for now. We've enjoyed it this afternoon, kind of a slow start. I forget how many adventures in Radioland we did, but we had quite a discussion on a lot of situations and the early goings-on the QSO-VLOG network for this Friday. But anyway, that's the trials and tribulations. Maybe there was a football game or something, catch you a little slack. Maybe you were just coming home from Charlie K1GZL's birthday party, which was over the weekend, so it only took you a week to get home. I have gone to a few of those parties. Anyway, we shall say 3's, and we'll catch everybody later. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Claire.
Thanks, Jim, for all the help you give all the amateurs out there at KG5GOG.
Roger, Roger. What was that call sign again?
Kilo Golf 5, Golf, Oscar Golf, Oklahoma. Name's Monty.
Roger, Monty, thank you so much, sir. You have a real good afternoon and a great weekend. 3's that away. And this is KC9VKV. We're clear.
Thanks, Jim.